Hi, welcome to my genre choice project. I've decided to embark on the journey of creative writing, specifically through poetry. Um, just to preface this video, I am currently in my closet. There's like construction going on in the house, so I wanted to find like a quiet place where I can talk and you wouldn't be able to hear that. So I'm going to continue now. Like I said, this video is my introduction as to why I chose the topic, and pretty much the process in which I'll be discovering my talent of poetry. So originally we were told to do a project on something that we lack knowledge of, and I can say wholeheartedly I lack knowledge on poetry. I personally think I'm a really, really bad poet. I've tried to write poetry in the past. I want to say a couple months ago, very recent, and I just scrapped it. I scrapped the whole thing. I just didn't like it at all. I thought I wasn't very good at it. So why do I think I'm bad at poetry? Let's look at the reasonings behind everything. I have no prior experience to being taught poetry, at least well. The last poetry unit I had was in middle school, and that was about 10 years ago, maybe even more than 10 years ago, and it was very quick. It was the end of the school year type situation where if we finished, we finished. If we didn't, we didn't. School was out anyways. I only actually started recently reading poetry for fun. I started within this class because of the Poet-X, and I kind of just snowballed into other means of poetry as well. I'm currently reading a book of poems called Her. It's a volume of poetry for women, but I'm going to explain that later in the process as well, because that connects back to this whole journey. Fun fact about myself. I actually don't like writing. I don't enjoy the process of writing. I am on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to English majors. I love reading. Reading is one of my favorite things to do. So writing, and let alone poetry, this is going to be a big challenge for me because my writing skills are pretty good. But creative writing, it's not something I practice on the daily and prefer to do anyways. The only kind of writing I do day by day is journaling, which is I woke up, I did this, I did that, this is what consisted of my day, this is how I feel. I don't write poetry that's ambiguous to my feelings, or I think I messed that up. I don't write in general that's ambiguous. I write things that are very direct, and I feel like sometimes poetry, you really have to have multiple means of interpretation for it to be good. Sorry, I have notes. Like I said, I've tried writing poetry in the past when I was like an angsty teenager, and very recently as an angsty adult. I've tried writing, and I personally feel like I suck at it. All these emotions and no way to actually dictate them properly. So, why would I do my genre choice project on something I'm horrible at? By technicality, we were told to. We were told to do something that we've never really dived into before, and not only do I want to challenge myself, but I want to see if I'll be any good at it, you know? And if not, it's okay. Like, I'll enjoy poetry from other perspectives and other people. So, why do my genre choice on something I don't really like? At some point in my educational career, I'm going to have to teach a lesson on poetry. Or at least I assume so. I should know how to practice and produce poetry because I'll be teaching it. So this whole project is actually me teaching myself how to make poetry. What it means to be emotionally raw and vulnerable, but a little confused, a little Sorry, my screen timed out. A little ambiguous with my words as well. I don't know if I'll be following a rhyme scheme or writing in free verse. I feel like it would be more beneficial to me to write in free verse because I have no prior knowledge to poetry in general. But that's something I'm going to have to figure out when I start practicing poetry and see what I'm better at. And I'd rather work with something I have a pretty good foundation to make it even better than something that I might lack. I would like to learn during this process different types of poetry. I have some written already that I'm interested, like haiku, limerick, narrative poetry. Like I said, free verse is something that I think is going to be my best bet because it has no rules, and I love things with no rules. Ballad, acrostic poems. Acrostic poems are pretty cool. Maybe I'll dabble with that as well. But like I said, this genre choice project is a chance for me to dive into something I've never done before and be completely uncomfortable with this experience. And hopefully it teaches me to be a better educator. And like I said, I'm going to have to teach poetry at some point. Might as well know how to do it. So this is the introduction to my genre choice project. You'll see me in another video, most likely a couple days later, starting the poetry writing process.